Hey everybody, it's Mel. Super excited that you're here, and today we are going to dig into a really important topic that is all about why. There goes our dog, just on cue. You know it's live when the dog is barking. We're going to talk today about why it is so critical that we attack head on, and by we I mean you, me, everybody watching. We attack head on the way that you talk to yourself, that we identify the broken patterns of thinking about that you have about yourself, and we tear them apart and we replace them with something really positive. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? And then I have a question to kick us off. How is your own negative self-talk holding you back? So if you're somebody that says, I'm not good enough, or it never works out for me, or, I'm a bad person, or I'm damaged, like whatever the garbage is, how is your negative self-talk, your self-doubt, your insecurity holding you back? I can share a quick story. For those of you that were watching yesterday, as I was reading from chapter 4 of the High Five Habit, I was sharing a story about how important it is to have what I call a high five attitude, which is the ability to catch yourself when your attitude is going down, to catch yourself when you start beating yourself up, and to flip your attitude back into a positive, optimistic, resilient state. And I told you all a story about how the rental market here is super competitive. It's super competitive. As in, if there's an open house for a new rental property in Southie, this awesome new hip and up and coming neighborhood in Boston, there are literally lines out the door. There are a dozen applications. And that's exactly what happened yesterday to one of our daughters and all of her best friends from college. And we put in the applications, everybody scrambled to get it done. I wrote one of these love letters. We even wrote the rent check for a little bit more than what they were asking for. And at the end of the day, everybody, despite being positive, despite putting in all the work, doing everything that we could, they did not get the apartment. It went to somebody else. And I watched in real time as my daughter's mindset plummeted. And she started to say all of the things that we all say to ourselves. It's amazing because you can watch it when it happens to somebody else. The real gift is being able to catch yourself when your attitude plummets. She literally started going, nothing ever is going to work out for me. I'm never going to find an apartment. This is just more evidence that this has been the worst 2 years of my life. I don't think this is, I better start just figuring out what I'm going to do. Our roommates are going to split up. Like, just went so negative so fast. And it quickly went from, of course we didn't get the apartment, to I'm never going to get an apartment, to nothing ever works out for me. This sort of catastrophic thinking. And I can see that so many of you can relate to this, that when one bad thing happens, if you don't have the ability to catch yourself and high five your attitude back into a place where you get back into optimism, you get back into being able to encourage yourself, you will feel like the world is aimed against you. And here's the thing, nobody else can do this for you. You have to be able to do this for yourself. And what do you do when you get disappointing news? You didn't get the apartment you wanted. You didn't get into your dream school. You didn't get that job that you applied for and you made it to the final round. You didn't get the house that you really wanted. You didn't get the raise that you really expected for yourself. Well, it's important to allow yourself to feel the disappointment. You're human, but you need to put a cap on how long you're going to torture yourself, okay? Let yourself wallow for a little bit. Turn on some really sad music. Cry in your bed. Go to bed early. But when you wake up tomorrow morning, you need to shake it off. Like, if it's not a death of somebody that you love or a terrifying diagnosis, you're going to need to get your high five attitude back. And the most important thing is to be able to separate this thing that happened that's disappointing. Oh, there's my mother FaceTiming me. Okay, I need to... She's FaceTiming. I've got it. Sorry, Mom. I clearly did not put my phone on Do Not Disturb. You got to be able to separate the thing that's disappointing from I'm a disappointment, or the thing that didn't work out from this catastrophic thinking that nothing works out for me. See, because when you get into that mindset, it literally changes how you experience life. And so we're in chapter 4, the high five habit. And I'm reading this book to you for free because I want this information to be accessible to everybody. Okay? If you cannot afford a book, I am reading this to you because I want you to be able to learn from this groundbreaking book. For those of you that have a book, thank you for getting yourself the gift of the high five habit. For those of you thinking about getting the book, stop thinking, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and get yourself a copy. You deserve this. It is available anywhere books are sold. We are on page 49 of chapter 4 today, if you would like to read along. And I want to thank you for your support because we are now, we've been on the New York Times bestseller list for 2 weeks. We were the number 2 selling book of all titles the week that this came out on Amazon. Number 2 selling book of all titles. And we are the number 1 selling audiobook of the month on all of Audible. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for getting yourself a copy. And thank you for getting your friends and your family members and your teammates and your colleagues copies too. It's a way to give somebody a high five and to give them the gift of the high five habit and the science that helps you take control of your life. All right, page 49. And this is going to address what I'm talking about. Why it's so important to catch when your thinking drags you down. Why it's so important to put a stop on how long you're going to wallow in your misery and feel sorry for yourself, and how to flip yourself back into a high five attitude. All right, page 49. We're right here, everybody, where it says your subconscious won't say I love you. You want to see your negative thought patterns in action? This is the patterns that are stored in your self-conscious. Because what we've been discussing, everybody, is how you have a habit of rejecting yourself. You have a habit of criticizing yourself. You have a habit of being hard on yourself. And we are breaking that habit and replacing it with a new habit called the high five habit. So if you want to see your self-rejection in action, just look at yourself in a mirror or pay attention to what you do when somebody tries to take your picture. Now, my kids used to tease me because every time I looked in the mirror, they said I made a very weird mirror face. And I didn't even know I was doing it. And here's the thing. Everybody, including you, has a mirror face. What is a mirror face? Well, that's when you look in the mirror and then subconsciously, within a nanosecond, you literally fix your face in order to appear more attractive. Why do we do this? I'll tell you why we do it. Because we don't like what we look like. It's a form of rejecting yourself. And if you don't realize you do it, just watch your teenagers or any teenagers in your life. They all have a mirror face. It's what they call their good side. You know how when you try to take a family photo and your kids now move you around like a prop in a photo, and this one wants to be on this side with the elbow out, and that one's got to do this and kind of lean their face like that? That's what I'm talking about right here. Subconscious. We all do it. Or if you're somebody that really hates what you look like, I bet you hide in the back of the photo. You make somebody block your body. This is another subconscious form of self-rejection. My mirror face involves an ever so slight puckering of the lips, and I suck in my cheeks. I kind of do this thing where I'm like I kind of like elongate my chin, which I don't know why I elongate my chin, because I really don't care for how pointy my chin is. But I kind of, you see how I go sucking in right there? I didn't even realize I was doing it. And then my kids, literally, this is so mean, they would start to mercilessly, I can't even pronounce the word, it's so mean. They would relentlessly tease me. If there was a photo where I had the, kind of thing right there, my kids would be like, oh, mirror face. If we walked past a mirror and I looked at myself, I go, and I didn't even realize. Mirror face, Mom. And then I'd be like, what am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know that I'm doing it. I'm sorry. Now, I'm proud to say that I have actually not done the mirror face in months. In fact, it kind of was hard for me to do that. I had to like pull it in a little bit. It's sort of like I've gotten Botox right here probably for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. When they go squint like this, I don't even know how to do it anymore because by getting Botox, it's relaxed these little muscles here and I don't even know how to scrunch them anymore. But my mirror face is the same thing. The high five habit has made me change the programming in my mind. You see, when I look in the mirror now, you guys, I actually don't see what I don't like. I don't see the stuff I need to fix. I see a human being that I care about. How cool is that? I don't see a face that needs, I can't even do it. I don't even know what I was doing as a mirror face. There is so much compassion, acceptance, and understanding with practicing the high five habit. It literally rewires your mind and your habits. I see not my appearance, I see me. Mel Robbins, the person, the human being, and that's what's going to happen for you. How many of you know what I'm talking about because you've been practicing the high five habit? That you are literally experiencing a complete rewiring of your mind. You're experiencing a completely transformed relationship with yourself. That it used to suck to look in the mirror. And now you have this completely different relationship standing in front of the mirror with the human being you see standing there looking back at you. Well, here's what science tells us about mirror face, everybody. We all have automatic thoughts. Things we think so often that they become the default, like a rut in a path. If you deliberately change your actions or thoughts, you change your default way of thinking and acting. Now, this deliberate change is called a neuroplastic response. And right now, your default thinking and mirror face are making you hyper-focus on what's wrong with you or what you think is wrong with you. And here's the good news, you can change it. I want to give you a couple other examples because when we were researching what's called a neuroplastic response, one of the gals that I work with, Tracy, found this really incredible research. And for whatever reason, I was like, nah, we don't need to put it in the book. But I feel like I want to tell it to you right now so that you understand that neuroplastic responses to your appearance, to your body, they are hardwired in your mind. So for example, if you're somebody that's really struggled with weight, okay, and whether it's because you have put on a lot of weight or because you are just larger in your build, and you have these habits that you've adopted of whether it's, I always like to be in the back of the photo because I don't want people to see my body. That's a neuroplastic response. Another thing is if you're a larger build and you have to kind of turn to get through some doorways, what they've found based on research is the neuroplastic response of turning sideways or trying to kind of scoop your stomach so you can slide into a chair or a bench as you sit into a table. Even after you lose weight, what researchers have found is that behavior in relation to your body and how you perceive yourself is still there. So even after folks, go through these massive transformations and start to lose weight, they'll still turn sideways when they go through a doorway because of the neuroplastic response. We also see this with very tall people. So my brother, for example, is 6'5", and he's a super tall guy. And there are lots of doorways that he's got to kind of duck to get under. Well, what's interesting is even in doorways that are large, you can still see him do this because of his height, even though he doesn't have to. That's a neuroplastic response. Are you guys starting to get this? This idea that there are ways in which you have responded to your height, to your weight, to your appearance, to your identity that have become hardwired in your brain. And what we want to attack is we want to attack the neuroplastic response that you have to yourself that's negative. that neuroplastic response that is like, I'm a bad person. Or my daughter yesterday, nothing ever works out for me. This is going to be nothing works out for me. And I'm sitting there thinking, wait a minute, there's a lot that works out for you? I don't know what you're talking about. But her neuroplastic response is nothing works out for me. And it's simply in there because she's repeated the thought so many times. I used to have the exact same thought, by the way. The high five habit has erased it. It gets triggered by certain situations, but it's not the default anymore. Isn't this exciting, everybody? That you can identify what your neuroplastic response is related to your identity or how you think about yourself or how life is going. And we can break that neuroplastic response apart so that the response that you have to your face, to your body, to your identity actually matches what you want to feel instead of the patterns that you're just used to thinking and feeling. I freaking love this. Don't you love this? So let's go to page 50. You don't need to know when or how you went from loving yourself as a little kid to criticizing yourself as a teenager, a young adult, or an adult. If you want to unpack where all of this negative thought and all of these negative beliefs that you have about yourself started, give yourself the gift of working with a therapist. In our daughter's case, remember, chapter 4 started with a text that one of our daughters sent us. How do I not feel like the ugliest girl at the bar every time I go out? And with her permission, she let me share that text in the book. You know, in her daughter's case, I asked her and I said, when did you start thinking that you're the ugliest person in the bar or around your friends? And she said, I don't know when it began because I don't ever remember not feeling that way about myself and my body. And here's something really profound and honest that she shared. She said, the truth is, Mom, I know I'm not that ugly. I'm just the biggest one of all my friends, and I hate it. How many of you can relate to that? I'm just the X of all my friends. I'm the biggest. I'm the least successful. I'm the lightest. I'm the darkest. I'm the tallest. I'm the shortest. I have the least money. That there's some way that you are identifying yourself in relation to other people that makes you feel less than. And that's what I see in the mirror. I'm bigger than I want to be, and it makes me feel horrible about myself. And then she said, I wish I didn't think about it all the time, but I don't know how to stop. God, I can so relate to that. I wish I didn't think I'm a bad person all the time. I wish I didn't think I screw up all the time. I wish I didn't think I'm not good enough all the time. I wish I didn't think I was the biggest or the tallest or the shortest all the time, but I don't know how to stop. It's so honest. It's so relatable, isn't it? And as we talked about it further, it was clear you can't hate your body and accept and love yourself at the same time. You can't do that. You are a whole person. Hating parts of yourself means you're not accepting and loving yourself as you are. When you look in the mirror and you focus on what you need to fix, it's the opposite of a high five. This is a habit of self-rejection. And by the way, I know you know this, but our daughter's not alone on not liking how she looks. According to our research, more than 50% of men and women will not look at themselves in the mirror. Like they are disgusted by what they see. They are so used to rejecting what they see, they won't even look in the mirror. 91% of women are unhappy with their bodies. And of course, the media and the images that you and I see just bombard us with, this unrealistic crap, and that doesn't help. And when you constantly wish that you looked different, how many of you wish you looked different? Be honest. Put a little hand in the comments if you wish you looked different. This is so pervasive, this self-rejection. Wishing you looked different is a habit of rejecting who you are, where you are, and what you look like. And it's so sad because there will never, ever, 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 ever be another you. There's never been somebody like you on the planet. There will never be another one of you. And here you are, just like everybody else, looking in the mirror and wishing you looked different. You know, it's one thing to kind of say, I got to take better care of myself. It's another thing to wish you were a different person. In order to break this habit of self-rejection, we are going to start with something that is low. Not going to even go for self-love. That will come with time. We got to come with self-acceptance. We got to come with self-compassion. We got to come to the table with a little bit more self-respect. We got to come and start to build a little bit more self-worth. If this is something that you can relate to, and every human being relates to this, because I think every single one of us, it's only gotten worse with the amount of marketing and social media imagery bombarding you and kind of tweaking you to think that you need a particular lotion or a particular lipstick or a particular type of pants, or you got to be a particular size or a particular shape in order to be acceptable or desired. And what I'm here to tell you is the high five habit is about learning how to break that desire to be somebody else and learning how to accept at the beginning and respect and be compassionate and to start to feel worthy as you are. And with that as your foundation, my God, you can go and do and be anything you want to be when you come from a place of acceptance, support, respect, worth, and validation for exactly where you are and exactly where you're not. Isn't this cool? So, and here's the other reason why you need to do this. When you constantly wish you look different, or you see a world reflected back in a way that makes you feel like you don't belong, your entire existence is going to feel like there's something wrong with you. And there are three main reasons why I need you to change this. We're on page 50, everybody who's reading along. And for those of you just joining, I'm Mel Robbins, and this is the High Five Habit. This is a New York Times best-selling book. We're on week 2 of the New York Times. It was the number 2 selling book on Amazon when it came out 2 weeks ago for a week straight. You've made it the number 1 selling audiobook of the entire month. It's just extraordinary. And this book is changing people's lives by changing how they treat themselves. Here's why you got to change your mind. We're on page 50 if you want to read along. And please, if this is inspiring you, if you're like, wow, I needed to hear this today, get a copy. Literally, go online, get yourself a copy. You need this book. This is exactly the book that the world needs right now. There are 3 reasons why you have to stop beating yourself up, and you must learn how to love yourself and empower yourself. Number 1, when you focus on what's wrong, you're never going to change. Because with the attitude that something's wrong, every change that you're trying to make is a reminder that you need fixing. And the attitude that there's something wrong makes everything feel harder. How many of you have literally yo-yo dieted, started and stopped exercising programs, constantly stopping, starting, struggling with motivation? I'm going to tell you the reason why that's the case, everybody, is because when you feel like there's something wrong, changing is punishment. This is why diets don't work, because exercise plans and diets feel like punishment. Being on a diet only reinforces the feeling that there's something wrong with you, so you need to be on a diet. And that you're not okay or lovable or fantastic as you are. Diets work when you feel empowered to be healthier because you believe you deserve to be healthier. Not because there's something to fix or that there's something wrong with you, but because of your self-worth and self-respect that you're like, wow, I deserve to actually feel a little bit better. So I'm going to make some choices that make me feel better in terms of what I put in my body. I am going to stop reading for just a second. We're at the top of page 51 for everybody that's following along with their copies of the High Five Habit. I've got some questions here that I want to answer. On Facebook, Bronny, and welcome LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. This is a very serious topic. Bronny, does the High Five Habit help with suicidal thoughts? You better believe it does. Couple things about this. We have heard already from mental health practitioners and therapists that both the 5-second rule and the high five habit are extraordinarily effective with interrupting and helping to quiet suicidal ideation. So number one, let's start with the 5-second rule. We had an entire group of nurses show up at my daytime talk show, the Mel Robbins show, when we were taping it. And they were in the audience. And after we taped it, they said that they work in an inpatient psych ward at a Philadelphia hospital. And of all the tools that they have to give to patients who have come into a mental health facility because of severe depression, suicidal ideation for the 3-day commit, the single most effective tool that they have of everything that they give people when somebody is discharged is the 5-second rule. And the reason why is because it's simple and anybody can use it and you can remember it. And tools only work when you remember them. Does medication help? Absolutely. But when you start to feel the barrage of thoughts, knowing that you can count backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 as a way to interrupt them is super important. The reason why, now let's jump to the high five habit, can help with suicidal thoughts is because, number one, we are tapping into programming, this neural pathway association, okay, that we've just been talking about. You're tapping into programming that is already inside your mind, body, and spirit. You see, if you're in a really dark place right now, and you stand in front of a mirror and you're having very dark and very scary thoughts, when you raise your hand up and you high five yourself, you're not saying, yeah, my life is awesome. You're saying, I see you. You're saying, I'm here with you. You're saying, I believe that I'm going to make it through this. And what happens, you don't have to say anything out of your mouth. You don't have to think anything. When you literally raise your hand, the physical gesture of high-fiving, that triggers your brain and your nervous system to go to work for you. And it triggers a drip of dopamine, which is a chemical that you need in your brain when you're really struggling. It will boost your mood slightly. The other thing that the high five does is it shuts down the suicidal thoughts, because your brain has only ever associated this physical trigger of high-fiving somebody or receiving a high five with something positive. So it's impossible to think those thoughts and raise your hand and high five yourself. The other thing is that your nervous system recognizes it. And so the high five is a reminder to your nervous system to give you a little jolt of vitality. Now, does that cure what you're going through? No. But it's a simple thing that you can do throughout your day to remind yourself you're still here. You are so worthy. You are loved. And this scary moment will pass. So it's an act of defiance to the darkness. It's saying, I'm still here. I love you. I can face this. I can ask for help. I'm not the only person that's ever felt this way. And there are millions, if not billion people on the planet who have been where you've been and who have been able to hold on and to move through it. And every time you also go to high five yourself, it is a demonstration that you're worthy. It's a demonstration that you're supporting yourself through this. And I believe that will start to give you the strength to do what you need to do, which is to ask for help. Ask for help. You do not need to struggle alone. My friend Brenda Burchard always says, you know, Mel, there are nearly 8 billion people on the planet. Somebody has gone through what you're going through, and they've survived it. And that means you can too. And I'm here to tell you, absolutely, positively, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, interrupt the thought, ask for help, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, even say to yourself, I'm not thinking about that. I'm going to make it through this. Or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, this thought is temporary. I have a bright future ahead of me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, what if it all works out? What if I am stronger than I realize? What if this is just a low moment, and low moments are part of a really incredible life, a high five life, actually. And what if I'm stronger than I think I am? And then start with the high five every morning. Let's boost your mood with dopamine. Let's signal to your brain that you're resilient. Let's tap into your nervous system, and let's use these science-backed tools to help you inch your way through this very dark period, because you are not alone. And there are lots of people out there that would love to help you. And yes, you can still get the 5-second rule book. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, will it help with OCD, the high five habit? Absolutely. OCD is a form of anxiety, everybody. It's something that people develop as a coping mechanism when they feel uncertain or out of control. You like hyper focus on things in order because you feel out of control in your life. When you stand in front of yourself and you high five yourself like that, you are reassuring yourself. You're creating certainty in moments of uncertainty. And the high five says, I can face this. So it gives you a small sense of control. Can you do the high five? Charlene asks on Instagram, can you do the high five at any time or just the morning? Yeah, absolutely. You can do the high five anytime, day or night. But I want you to start practicing it by doing it after you brush your teeth in the morning, because I want you to make this a habit. I want you to start your day based on research with the boosts to your mood, with a little bit of an elevated focus and a sense of optimism that whatever game you're playing today in life, that you've got it. I want you to begin your day knowing that you have your own back. I want you to begin your day with this moment of intentionality. I want you to begin your day by interrupting negative thoughts and doubling down on optimism and resilience. I want you to begin your day by being kind to yourself and putting yourself first. But at any moment during the day, you just need a little high five. You high five that rearview mirror in your car. You high five the mirror that you're passing. You find yourself a bathroom if you've got a really bad day at work. I love these ones that we're starting to see of people who are saying, I gave a presentation, nobody said anything. Normally I'd cry in my cubicle. I went straight to the bathroom because I know I put in a lot of work and I know I deserve to be told I did a good job, and I high five myself. And guess what? I left that bathroom feeling just fine. So yes, 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 you can high five yourself at any moment that you feel you need a little boost. Because you can have your own back. You can lift yourself up. It's exactly what I said to our daughter. You get your butt up to your bedroom after you're done crying, and you start your day tomorrow with a high five, because that high five says, shake it off. We're going to find something amazing. Shake it off. That landlord was probably a jerk. And now I'm in a great place. Shake it off. Maybe the people that got the apartment were really, 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 really desperate. And they've tried 22 different places and been rejected, and it's okay. You got a little bit more time. Like, shake it off. You got this. That's why you're going to do this at any time. One other question: where can I find the other readings? Go to IGTV on Instagram, and they are all in the High Five Habit folder. On Facebook, you can scroll through and just look for all of the lives that we have done. On YouTube, they're all there as well, and we are creating a channel or a folder for this as we go along. We're updating all the thumbnails so it's easy to understand where all the readings are. And please tag your friends. Please share these videos. I'm on a mission to make sure all the tools in the High Five Habit are accessible to anybody who can't find the book or can't afford it. And on that note, if you can afford a book, support this. Support yourself. Buy a copy. Buy copies for your friends, for your colleagues, for people that you care about. This book is life-changing. Truly life-changing. Anyway, that's it. I love you. I believe in you. We'll pick this up tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Oh, wait. It is 10 a.m. Eastern today. I will hopefully be reading on Monday, but I'm going to be in New York City. Guys, I'm going to be on the Breakfast Club. Hello, how cool is that? Then I've got to fly to San Diego. So for those of you that are going to be at this massive event in San Diego, I cannot wait to see all of you. So I don't know what the readings are going to be Monday or Tuesday. We're going to figure it out. I will be back here for sure on Wednesday. But please get yourself a copy in the meantime, and know that your friend Mel Robbins loves you. I believe in you and your ability to change your life for the better. I really do. That's why I'm here, sharing the ups and downs of my life and all the things that are helping me navigate things that are going on in my life, in my family, in my business. If I can save you the headache and the heartache that I've caused myself, whoo, that's a life well lived. You know what I'm saying? But now it's your turn to learn how to believe in yourself again. And you do that by applying all the tools in this amazing, award-winning, best-selling, game-changing book, The High Five Habit. I love you. High five, everybody.